You're watching the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us as we are taking a look at the updated depth chart for your Kansas City Chiefs after activating Kareem Hunt and making a couple of roster moves. How does the Chiefs lineup stack up heading into this weekend's game against the LA Chargers? We'll tell you more about it coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, folks, it's not too early to be thinking about this weekend's game against LA. If you want to beat LA, like the video, don't jinx it. I've been told if we get at least 500 likes on today's show, that guarantees victory. Do your part, like the video, and we'll get started. The Chiefs activate Kareem Hunt from the practice squad to the active roster. And with that, that means there's a few changes for the Kansas City Chiefs from where they were at to start the season on this depth chart. Of course, there's been a number of injuries when you talk about Hollywood Brown and Isaiah Pacheco, and among others. So let's get started. The quarterback position remains unchanged, though. Patrick Mahomes and Carson Wentz, your QB1 and QB2. Patrick Mahomes, not off to a great start to the season, but no need for concern when you have the best quarterback in the world. He'll figure it out in no time. The running back room, though, looks quite different. Carson Steele is your new RB1, had a very impressive performance against the Atlanta Falcons when he rushed for over 70 yards. Samaje Perine steps into that RB2 role, and Kareem Hunt, who they just activated, goes to the RB3 spot. And you may be wondering, how are the Chiefs going to divvy out this position going forward? And I think what you're going to see is that Carson Steele will be your main bell cow. He'll get the front load of the carries for this Chiefs offense, and he's not a barn burner by any stretch, but he can get you 4 and 5 yards a carry, and that's all that they need from him. Samaje Perine, I think, is going to be more of your third down receiving back type, and then Kareem Hunt should be used in short yardage situations on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, in the red zone. Remember, he had 9 touchdowns last year for the Cleveland Browns. So it will be a committee. I think you're going to see all of them. I think you'll see all of them even this weekend against LA, but that's what I would expect from this group going forward, and I think they're more than capable of getting the job done until Kareem Hunt ultimately makes his return. What do you think of the Chiefs depth chart? A, B, C, D, or F? How would you grade it? Weigh in the comment section and let us know what you think of the Chiefs depth chart to this point. I think it's a solid group. It's got to be at least an A- at this point. Give me your grade and let me know. We're going to be live here on the Chiefs Report coming up this Sunday for Chiefs and Chargers, week number 4 of the National Football League, as your Kansas City Chiefs try to advance to 4-0 on the season. Our coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central Time, right here on the channel. Smitty's going to join me. We're going to have a great time. Subscribe now, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Don't miss out. It's going to be a great time. We'll see you then. The receiver room for the Chiefs includes Justin Watson at the left wide receiver position with JuJu Smith-Schuster behind him, Xavier on the other outside wide receiver spot with Skyy Moore behind him, and then Rashee Rice manning the slot receiver position with Mecole Hardman behind him as well. What we've seen so far through the first 3 weeks is Rashee Rice is really carrying this group. Currently, right now, Rashee Rice is first in the NFL in catches, second in receiving yards, and tied for 10th in receiving touchdowns. But they're going to need more from everybody else. We started to see JuJu come out and do his thing last week. He had a solid game against the Atlanta Falcons. Xavier is the one to keep an eye on. I think they're going to find more ways to work him in besides just the gadget plays that you've seen throughout the first 3 weeks. But Rashee Rice can't do it all by himself. They're going to need more guys to step up at that position. The tight end room for the Kansas City Chiefs is featuring Travis Kelce, Noah Gray, and Jared Wiley. The Chiefs hoping to get more out of Travis Kelce. You heard Patrick Mahomes talk early in the week about how Travis Kelce is being double and triple teamed at times, and that's kind of limiting what he can do. But where there's a will, there's a way. The Chiefs have been here before when it comes to Kelce dealing with that at that position. So ultimately, I think that they're going to be fine. I expect Kelce to eventually break out. I think the other tight ends are going to come along nicely. I like Noah Gray. I'm really excited about Jared Wiley of what he could potentially do. but I'm not worried at all about this tight end position. Travis Kelce's going to figure it out sooner than later. Let's tell you about our newest sponsor here on the Chiefs Report. That is Public Rec. They sent me this awesome shirt that feels so comfortable, and I also got the pants as well. I got to tell you, I love them, folks, and you will too. Let's be real, guys. Wearing pants sucks. Who decided that stiff, uncomfortable fabric digging into your family jewels was necessary to go out and look put together? Well, I'm here to tell you that those days are finally over. Public Rec has developed revolutionary Daymaker pant that feels as comfortable as sweats, but look and fit like tailored pants. They're super stretchy and made with an elastic waistband, but you can wear them absolutely anywhere. Wear them lounging around the house, eating Cheetos, or football Sundays with the boys. You can even wear them on that first day, and no one will know you're wearing sweats. You can finally have indoor comfort with outdoor style by wearing Public Rec's Daymaker pants. For a limited time only, our listeners get 20% off their entire order when you use the code CHAT at publicrec.com. That's 20% off your order at publicrec.com with promo code CHAT. Public Rec not only has the most comfortable pants ever made, they have a huge selection of high-quality, everyday basics. You can revamp your entire wardrobe with their perfect-fitting polos, shorts, and hoodies. So, folks, you got to stop the suffering. You got to look comfortable with Public Rec. They got you covered. Save 20% off now at publicrec.com with the promo code CHAT. After your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Say goodbye to pants that put up a fight, because when your comfort meets style, you found Public Rec. To the offensive line we go now, and there's some changes here as well. Wanya Morris moves to the starting left tackle position with Kingsley now as his backup. Joe Thuney at left guard, Creed Humphrey at center, Trey Smith at right guard, Jawan Taylor at the right tackle position. And even though Kingsley got benched for Wanya Morris, after Kingsley struggled in the first couple of weeks of the season, I would say that it's too early to write off Kingsley at this point in time. In fact, I don't think we've seen the last of him by any stretch of the imagination this season. He was a rookie, went through some growing pains, took on one of the best pass rushers in football week 2 in Trey Hendrickson, and really struggled with that. But you're not going to face guys like Trey Hendrickson every single week. And more than likely, there's going to be injuries that pop up at some point, whether it's to Wanya Morris or whether it's Jawan Taylor. Kingsley's going to be the guy that's going to be asked to be called upon to step into either one of those roles if that were to happen. So I'm not discouraged. I think he's going to be okay. The offensive line as a whole, I think, is a really good group. Wanya Morris, I think it's going to be interesting to follow to see if he can continue to put it together here. But I like this offensive line. Just kind of give it some more time, and let's see what they figure out with this left tackle spot. Do you agree with benching Kingsley? Did Andy Reid make the right decision? Let us know. Y for yes, in for no. Weigh in the comments section and tell me what you think. Let's go to the defense now, beginning with the defensive line. Karlaftis at the left defensive end spot. Mike Dana on the other side at the right defensive end spot. Wharton and Chris Jones, of course, holding things down on the inside. And for me, this position group particularly is interesting because although you have a number of very good pass rushers, you haven't seen these guys play to their full potential just yet. The Chiefs are ranked in the bottom half of the league in QB pressure win rate at this point in the season through the first 3 weeks. And so one of the things I want to see is these guys really step things up in their efforts to get after the quarterback. Chris Jones, he's taking on double and triple teams, so there's only so much Chris Jones could do. But that should be opening up things for guys like Karlaftis, guys like King Felix and others to get after the quarterback. They got to do a better job of that, and I think that this week's a good opportunity to begin that trend, taking on a shorthanded LA Chargers offensive line. The linebacker room for Kansas City, Drew Tranquill, Nick Bolton, and Leo Chenal lead the way there. Nick Bolton leads this team in tackles. He's been very good to start the season. He's looking to create more turnovers. That's been a point of emphasis for him. and we haven't seen it quite yet from Nick Bolton there, but I would expect that to change and him to continue on this trajectory here. The corner position for the Kansas City Chiefs, the much talked about corner group, includes Jalen Watson at the left corner spot, Trent McDuffie at the right corner spot, and Jamari Connor at the nickel corner spot. Connor, of course, had a big game against the Atlanta Falcons this past weekend. Trent McDuffie still looking for his first turnover of the season. And this corner room was talked about a lot this offseason as arguably the biggest question mark for this Kansas City Chiefs team entering 2024. And I think through the first 3 games of facing some pretty good quarterbacks, right? Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, they passed the smell test. They did enough. Did they all play great in that 3-game stretch? Far from it. But they didn't look bad. They did enough to get by. And for me, when I look ahead to the next few weeks here, you still have some tough tests coming at the quarterback spot. We'll see what happens with Justin Herbert, whether he plays this upcoming week or not. But you still got Brock Purdy coming up down the road. Derek Carr has played pretty well to start the season. Some of those upcoming opponents, these guys are going to be tested. And if they continue to pass this test, then you don't need to do anything. Then you roll with what you got. If things start to go downhill, then I very well could see the Chiefs potentially making a change of looking for more corner help, whether that be a trade at the deadline or signing somebody in free agency. But for now, this group appears to be A-OK for the time being. What's your confidence level in the Chiefs' cornerback room at the moment? Scale it for me, 1 through 10. What do you think of how the Chiefs' corners stack up right now? The safety room for the Chiefs includes Justin Reid, Brian Cook, and Jaden Hicks. And Justin Reid, got to give him some credit. He's looked very good so far to this point. Jaden Hicks, I think, is pretty intriguing, had a pretty good preseason. And I would expect that we see, as he comes along more of those 3 high safety looks that he could potentially get involved in. The special teams unit, the best in the National Football League with America's kicker Harrison Butker. Matt Ariza's been a nice addition at the punter spot. He's done a fairly good job. Hopefully you don't need a ton of Matt Ariza. James Winchester, of course, at the long snapper spot. The kick and punt return duties have been led by Mecole Hardman to start the season, but we're already seeing some of Steele out there, Worthy, Skyy Moore, among others, in the special teams duties on that front. There you have it. That is a full look at your Kansas City Chiefs depth chart heading into week number 4 of the National Football League. If you enjoyed today's show, you want to beat the Chiefs, like the video. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. We will see you next time right here on the Chiefs Report.